Head coach Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors reacts toward an official in the first half during an NBA first-round playoff basketball game against the LA Clippers at the Staples Center on Thursday, April 18, 2019 in Los Angeles, California. Photo by Keith Birmingham, Pasadena Star News, SCNG. Klay Thompson subscribes. You can too. For just 11 cents a day for 11 months receive a free Warriors Championship book. Sign me up. Los Angeles. They cannot bark like Draymond Green. They cannot break a clipboard like Steve Kerr. They cannot chuck a mouthpiece like Stephen Curry. Just like prominent members of the Warriors, though, their fans have another outlet to vent their frustrations about the officials. Social media, of course. In this week's mailbag, more questions and gripes emerged about the men in the black and white than the players in the blue and gold. Why not? So many developments in the Warriors-Clippers first-round series have surfaced regarding the officials. Sure, we'll give you goodies on the Warriors' Game 3 win over the Clippers, or Kevin Durant's dominant performance, or the encouraging signs that Andrew Bogut and Kevon Looney have shown at the center spot. Bay Area News Group columnist Dieter Kurtenbach and I break down all of those storylines and more in the latest Warriors HQ podcast. But you also have plenty of questions about the officiating. For future Warriors mailbags, you can send questions to me on Twitter through our free email newsletter, Warriors HQ, or through my text messaging service here for around-the-clock updates sent directly to your phone. Now on to the mailbag. Will refs ever get reprimanded publicly by the league? Unkinua, at Unkinua, April 19, 2019. The rescinded tease show just how obviously awful Jason Phillips was calling them. NBA has no prob letting players know criticizing refs is no bueno. But what about when refs make obvious errors that could have future ramifications for teams? Unkinua, at Unkinua, April 19, 2019. Officials are not immune from criticism. And we're not just talking about the scathing reviews from Draymond, Kevin Durant, Steph, or DeMarcus. The NBA releases a 2-minute report on every game, both to promote public transparency to the fans and accountability to the officials that make those calls. That approach has received mixed reviews. Any missed call upon further review does not change the outcome. Internally, though, the NBA shares a report on the entire game. Officials are then evaluated accordingly. NBA also rescinds technicals whenever the league office determines an official wrongfully gave a player one, such as what to Kevin Durant and JaMychal Green following Game 3. As for the postseason, the NBA has selected a total of 17 officials to call the games based on graded rankings, play calling accuracy and team rankings. The league said its officials average more than 15 years of NBA experience and total more than 550 years of service. At Mark_Medina- have you spoken with Bob Myers and or Coach Kerr regarding the officiating and whether or not they have been in touch with the league office? The officiating last night was atrocious and the calls they made on Steph and Kevon were really bad and noticeable. Jackson, at Jackson06218285, April 19, 2019. Kerr said on Friday that the Warriors have not spoken to the NBA about the officiating. Instead, Kerr has said he is better off talking to the officials throughout the game simply because he's trying to help our guys out. Kerr said the Warriors have talked to the league office about how they tally technicals throughout the postseason. Kerr has argued the current system penalizes successful teams because the technical totals are not reset after each round. Instead, players receive a 1-game suspension without pay once they receive 7 technicals. But Kerr said the league has given no indication it will change its mind. Nonetheless, Kerr argued that the high number of fouls is good for us because it appears officials are trying to crack down more on grabbing and holding. Curry, Durant and Green may disagree since they feel they are penalized for such tactics, while calls go ignored against them. Despite the varying points, most NBA teams just would like a game be called consistently without major disruptions to the game flow. That was hardly the case in Game 3. Besides Kevon Looney, who other young player do you see the Warriors signing long-term contracts with? Gloria Sanderson, at DellaGloria 2014, April 19, 2019. I don't know if the Warriors would sign any other young player to a long-term contract. The Warriors have liked Alfonso McKinnie's growth though. He still has limitations with his outside shot, but he hustles hard and he has high upside as a wing defender. The Warriors would not empty their wallet on him. They really can't anyway because of salary cap restrictions. Yet, the Warriors would love to further develop McKinnie. What is the deal on Damian Jones and Damian Lee? NTD69, at NTD1208, April 19, 2019. Jones and Lee might have similar pronunciations to their first names. They have entirely different contracts, though. The Warriors exercised a team option on Jones, who is guaranteed to make $2.5 million next season. Lee is on a two-way contract, which is a mechanism that allows the Warriors to have him for up to 45 days and the remainder of his time with their G League team in Santa Cruz. Since the G League season ended on March 23, Lee has been allowed to be with the Warriors for the remainder of the season. Once the postseason has started, though, Lee is ineligible to appear in any games. He can only practice with the team. 1 degree. Would Iguodala and Livingston sign another contract? Which could be the terms? 2 degrees. Who are the biggest threat for the GSW's fourth title? Rockets are the East Conference champion. L. Wittgenstein, at Uncle Witt, April 19, 2019. 1. It appears likely this will be Sean Livingston's last season. He has not officially shut the door. As of now, though, Livingston has suggested he will contemplate retirement after this season. In his 15th NBA season, Livingston has admittedly experienced more challenges with his injuries. The Warriors may also waive Livingston anyway since $2 million of his $7.7 million of his contract next season is guaranteed. As for Iguodala, he is under contract next season for a guaranteed $17 million. There is absolutely no reason why he would leave that money on the table. Still, the Warriors could dangle him in a trade package since he is an expiring contract. So long as the Warriors' championship train keeps moving, however, I don't foresee the Warriors pushing him off. Even at age 35, Iguodala has remained healthy enough to excel at all of his intangibles as well as throw down a handful of dunks. 2. The Warriors' biggest threat is themselves both with effort and health. Still, I could see the Rockets challenging them in the second round. They might actually benefit from seeing them early in the playoffs since then it would be less likely for either James Harden or Chris Paul to wear down. Still, the Warriors still have more depth and an array of adjustments they can depend on against the Rockets in a 7-game series. 1. So do you think Kevon will get resigned by the Warriors for bigger money? 2. What does the relationship between KD and Green look like now? 3. Are the Warriors trying to get Steph that Finals MVP this year? I think the Warriors will re-sign Looney. They have a center deficit since DeMarcus Cousins and Andrew Bogut will be gone after this season. The Warriors do not appear intent on Jordan Bell, and Looney remains the lone player of the team's young core that has a definitive trajectory. Even if the Warriors are strapped financially, they can exceed their salary cap in re-signing Looney since they have his bird rights. 2. Hard to say since we are not exposed to that behind-the-scenes interaction. I'm not naive to think everything is solved. But professionally, I have not seen any long-term carryover when accounting for their long-term chemistry and locker room interactions. As detailed in this piece on Steph Curry's leadership, Durant said that he and Green ironed out their differences privately. 3. When Durant won his second consecutive Finals MVP, Steph stressed the award is not that big of a deal to him. Steph reiterated that point this season about any individual award. That is not to say that Steph would not want to win his first Finals MVP after Andre Iguodala won one in 2015 and Durant won his in the past 2 years. but I seriously doubt Steph would hunt for stats presuming the Warriors advance to the finals again. Good chance that if Steph just plays his game, he will win it anyway. How did Boogie Cousins feel now that he can't play but will still get his free ring? Happy Meal, at Happy Meals 420, April 19, 2019. It's hard for me to say exactly what Cousins feels since he has not spoken to reporters since tearing a left quad muscle in his left leg during Game 2. But the Warriors presumably feel he is frustrated for all the obvious reasons. He spent nearly a year rehabbing his left Achilles tendon. He wanted to prove he could help a championship team. He wanted to maximize his earnings in the free agency market. If the Warriors win their 4th NBA title in 5 years, I suspect they will give Cousins a ring for his 3-month stint here. That might make Cousins feel appreciated, but I would be surprised that would erase the sting. Is Bogut a better fit with the starters than Cousins? Would Bogut better defense and he knows his role? Majority of shots goes to Steph, Clay, Durant versus forcing more inefficient shots to Cousins. Holly at Hollister __, April 19, 2019. Then do you think combination of Loon and Bogut is better than Cousins for the Warriors at center? Too many All-Stars sometimes can be too much. Alex Sui at AlexSui68, April 20, 2019. I think the Warriors have benefited short-term because Bogut is more aware of the team's defensive schemes, is more mobile and less prone to foul. Looney is nearly the same in any role, but that does not mean the Warriors are better without Cousins. The Warriors saw and expected Cousins to go through some growing pains in adapting to playoff basketball with how the game is called and how he handles the team's adjustments on him. Soon though, the Warriors expected Cousins to mirror his former self as a 4-time All-Star. There are also questions on how well Bogut can sustain a much more significant role. The Warriors signed Bogut as an insurance policy so that he would play limited minutes. Now that he is playing rotation minutes, can Bogut withstand the increased workload? That might not emerge right away since teams have more off days in between each playoff game. It's something to monitor. Warriors HQ Podcast. Be sure to visit our podcast page at mercurynews.com. You can also get notified of new episodes on iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, Stitcher and SoundCloud. *****. Follow Bay Area News Group Warriors beat writer Mark Medina on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Get Morning Report and other email newsletters. Sign up. Let's block ads. Why?